It was my grandfather who taught me to drive. He was taking me to most of my sort of motorbike trials competitions when I was a youngster.
And he's always asking, he knows more behind the scenes stuff than I do. And I'm there, he'll send me a text mid-week saying, have you just seen who's moved where and who's been testing where, and that someone's been driving on a kart track, and they're like, oh, what?
So he's a total fan then?
Yeah, total fanboy.
But that's great for you.
Welcome everyone to WRC Backstories, our exclusive WRC podcast presented by Bex Williams.
Welcome everyone to a fresh new week and a brand new Backstories podcast. How are you all doing out there? You doing okay? I certainly hope you are, wherever you may be around the world. We're still living, aren't we, in exceptional times where the word normal just doesn't seem to exist anymore. And neither do days of the week. Anyone else struggling to remember what day it is? Because I know I am. One thing is for sure though, despite everything that's happening, communities around the world are pulling together. From a socially acceptable distance, of course. It's been great to see the rally community keep each other sane across social media, coming up with innovative ideas to get us all talking. One thing that fueled the chat in the past few weeks has been WRC.com's greatest driver poll, which was voted by you, the public, and it was Carlos Sainz that emerged victorious, fighting off Sebastian Loeb. Fascinating fact, Carlos was the first ever WRC driver that I interviewed back in the day, complete with my hands shaking. He was ever the gentleman, and it was great to see his acceptance speech on Twitter. Vamos, King Carlos. Also on Twitter, Rally Rinky Teemu has concocted a month of rally questions. When was your first event? What's your favourite event? That will keep us chatting, I think, for a good while. We're all trying to keep ourselves busy, aren't we, and occupied, and we have plenty of fuel for that need on WRC Plus with our superb archive. There's so much stuff there you can go in and have a look at, as well as new shows coming your way. Let's get cracking, shall we, with this week's episode, dedicated to our current World Rally Champion. Hailing from Estonia and starting his career behind the wheel at a very early age, Ottom Tянаком has taken the rally world by storm. But was speeding through the world stages always his plan? Let's find out from our 2019 World Champion. I'm getting to know you, Mr. Tянаком, one-on-one. I can't think of how many years I've known you for, but we're going to delve a little bit deeper into your mind today. So first up, 3 words to describe yourself. What would they be?
Very boring guy.
Totally not. I disagree with that. Thierry gave me determined and workaholic. Gus Greensmith said he was ruthless. I know, that's quite a harsh word to use, isn't it? I mean, I would describe you as focused, feisty.
I know what you would describe me.
Go on then.
Serial killer.
Yes, serial killer eyes, definitely. But that's your focus, and that's something that we love about you. I've been chatting with some of the other drivers about their lives in general, but you're a little bit different because we know maybe a little bit more about you now because you've had a film made about your life. First of all, I mean, if someone made a film about me, I would just retire. That's it. It's done. I've reached the pinnacle. Someone's made a film about me. What was that experience like?
Experience-wise, I would say maybe not the best experience. Obviously, it means a lot of cameras, a lot of interviews, and can't say everything, but yes, that's how it is. But from the other side, I guess after maybe 10-20 years, when I'm already a long time retired, sitting home, nothing to do, then maybe it's nice to look back and to see actually what we've been doing. So all the material what was gathered during that time is still there, and I mean, for me the main reason was to just have something to look back and just to remember what we've been doing in our life or in my life.
I can imagine as a process, as you mentioned, cameras everywhere. For anyone, I think it would be an intrusive thing to have people following you and listening to everything you're saying, but you are genuinely quite a private person anyway. So Was it a struggle sometimes? Did you just want to say to them, stop?
I believe I said many times that I'm not interested to give an interview, but in the end they still did quite a good job. I would say the film is still mostly about my professional life and the work life, so there is not too much about the private life, but still in the end that's the main thing I want to remember from my rallying, and I guess the home life I still have every day at home.
Yes, you do have every day at home, which everyone else does as well. For people who are listening who maybe have not seen the film, don't really know the background to Ottom Tянаком and how he is where he is, we want to take you back to when you were young, and I know you had motorsport within your life already when you were growing up. Your dad competed, he prepared cars, and you were very much involved with that at a young age, yes?
Yes, basically my father had a normal garage, so it was a small village, and I was more or less every day there to help him out with some jobs, but also as a hobby was driving local championship with some national car. So of course I always dreamed as well to do some driving and to have some fun. Of course I also dreamed to be a professional driver, but I also knew that most probably it will be just a dream, and from this place where I'm from it looked to be 1 out of million to get in this level where we are now. So in a way I've been definitely very, very lucky, but from the other side, it's been an interesting journey.
It's been an incredible journey that you've had, but were there any other options, or was it purely motorsport in your head, or did you think, I could be an astronaut, I could be a postman? Was there anything else that interested you out there?
I believe I have enough driving skills to be a postman, so I could...
Very quick one.
I could do this job as well, but of course I really targeted to be a professional driver. I would say I put everything on this card actually to make it work, and it was definitely a big risk, but in the end it paid off, so I'm happy that I didn't have to have any other option.
So one word to describe you would be then determined, because you certainly are that. If that was your one goal from such a young age and you've achieved it, then that's determination.
Yeah, but from the other side it's also quite a stupid move to have just one card, so normal, let's say, a bit smarter people would have many choices, so I had just one choice, but okay, it paid off, so luckily it was a right card.
There have been ups and downs along the way in your journey, but you have finally achieved your goal and you are now a world champion. Is the Ottom Tянаком of 2020 different to the Ottom Tянаком of, let's say, 2017? Do you feel you're a different person because you're now a champion, or are you fundamentally the same?
I'm sure I'm fundamentally the same, so it shouldn't change too much, but generally as well, of course it takes some pressure off, but from the other side it also gives some more pressure, because you know that the bar has set quite high, so I can't do any less than I've done, and I'm still pushing very hard. Still year by year I believe I'm getting better, and basically just having more experience, having been working with more people and all this, I just need to put in use and make sure that I'm still developing and improving. So it's the same plan this year. We are in a new team. I know the situation we are in is not so easy to really keep our title, but in the end I know it's possible. I'm in a very professional team, and I still keep pushing, and I see also the other side is pushing very hard, so from that side I feel quite positive.
You're in a professional team, but you are highly professional yourself as well, and as you said, you keep pushing. Do you feel that you are a motivating person in the team you have around you? The engineers, the mechanics, they're all working as hard as they possibly can, and they're at the top of their game. Are you able to motivate them? Do you feel you're that kind of person?
I try to. I know that I'm complaining a lot, but that's what the driver gets paid for, so that's our our target. From the other side, I of course try to motivate, but I think the best motivation actually is the results from the events, and if you're doing well, that also gives some extra boost for the people working around you. But from the other side, I know I'm also a good pain in the ass. I'm pushing the guys a lot, and yeah, in the end, that's the only way to get forward. You know, everybody, every other team, every day they're trying to find new ideas, new directions to develop to get better, and I just know that we need to develop faster than any other team, and to do that you really need to be on it all the time.
All the time. Obviously you have downtime, not very much of it that you're at home for, and I know every driver is in the same boat. There's testing, you're on events, you travel early, leave late, whatever. You don't get very much time at home, but what is time at home like for you, and how important is it?
The family home is priority number one. You know, since I got the family, it definitely changed my life. Of course, when I come to rallying and when I'm working, testing, speaking with engineers, it's my professional side of the life, and I really take it seriously. But when I'm home, it's all about family, and yeah, they always come first.
As they should do. As you said, it changed your life completely. I can't have any conception on that. I don't have children, but you have two, which I'm sure are a great joy. Also hard work in a sense. What are you like as a dad? Are you a fun dad? Are you a serious dad? How would you describe your parenting skills?
It's a good question. From one side, I'm away quite a lot, so of course I try to keep in touch, and I think in a way I want to be more kind of friend than dad. Of course, sometimes you need to be a dad to be a bit more serious, but from the other side, I think in our family, the mother is the part who makes the big job, who is actually working with the kids to make sure that in some years they will be actually normal people who can manage their lives. But from my side, you know, when you are coming home after 1 week, haven't seen them, then of course you want to have fun, and as I said, I really enjoy to be friend with my two kids.
We've seen them on events, and I'm sure they watch when they're back home as well. And I remember in the film, your daughter was kind of keen behind the wheel herself. She's obviously got that from you. Is she still wanting to get behind the wheel?
Yeah, she goes. We have some small buggies home, and if the weather is kind of okay, then we normally take it out to the field and to have some fun. So also the boy is quite good with the cars already, so they are quite into the cars, but I hope it's just fun in childhood, so hopefully not in later life.
Would you want them to do something else? Given your experience, and you've had every success, but it's been a good journey for you, would you want them to do something else?
I hope they are a bit smarter than I am, yes.
Now, you mentioned their mother, Jannica, of course. Now, some people will say that there was a noticeable change in you when you met her and she came into your life. Would you say that's true? Would you say that she changed you for the better?
It's true, no doubt. She's quite strong. I mean, in personality, she's very straightforward. She's been going to school more than I have, so she's also smarter, and I believe I needed someone strong and smart on my side to really maybe show the direction, and yeah, I believe it's been working out very well.
I did have a chat with her at your movie premiere, and we've come up with an idea for a new film, which is The Champion Behind the Champion, which is focused on her. You ready to let that happen?
I might be, but I am quite sure that she's not happy to do that.
Obviously, family life very important to you. Talk to me about your relationships on event, because we're all in the same kind of travelling circus year in, year out. It's usually the same faces, drivers, co-drivers, team members. What's it like for you on event, and who would you say are your strongest connections here?
In the end, it's a family. Basically, you go to service park or you arrive to the rally in the hotel. Let's say there are many people you can say hi and give a handshake because you know all of them. Of course, the maybe the strongest relationship you have with the people you work the closest. So my media guy, my physio, engineers and team principals. But I've been in many teams, so I know all of them quite closely. So I guess these close people I have quite many.
Would you say some of the relationships you've made through rally, maybe not just in WRC, but maybe at home as well, that they're relationships that stay with you now for the rest of your life? Have you made strong friendships with people?
Actually, like time ago, I was just thinking about this my career generally, and I must say, thanks to this rallying career overall, I met many people who will definitely be the friends also after I finish. So I mean, yes, here we are doing professional work, but there are still many guys from this team and from previous teams who I speak to also in between the rallies and Christmas break, and you call them in the New Year's Eve and things like this. So that really means that there are some special relationship, and that's thanks to the rallying.
Rallying teaches us a lot about various things. I've learned more in my career about random things than I can ever imagine. But has rallying taught you things that you wouldn't have thought about? Forget about being behind the wheel of a car now, but I don't know, anything to do with relationships, how you handle yourself. What would you say rally has given to you other than the car?
It's definitely been experience in the life. Every day is a school day. For me, the biggest lesson maybe has been how to manage the tough days, the bad days, let's say. In this sport, you always have pressure. You always have pressure to perform, but there are some days that things are not going the way you want them to go. So it's the way you need to manage yourself when maybe I understand, I know when my behavior is maybe not as it should be, but normally there is a reason. But then from the other side, there is always a team around you. There are people around you who you need to manage, who you need to, as you said, motivate. You need to make sure they work for you and they understand you and things like this. But if the team is so big, you have so many people, it's all this relationships and things, it's definitely been it's been a good school.
Are there any incredibly influential people within the WRC right now who you would say they made a mark on my life? They taught me something which I will take through until the day I die. Other than me, of course.
Yes, exactly. I guess yes. I'm not sure I'm going to tell you anything specific, but generally the smart thing is that you learn from the mistakes of the others. So if you follow the way some team principals are working, some engineers are working, some other people are working, you always try to learn something. You try to understand how the things are working and how actually some things have been done. So it's you can learn every day, let's say, but it's normal part of the life, and I believe this way. Yes, it's not been just about driving and being fast, but it's also the relationships, and that's the biggest thing I think you can learn.
Okay, I'm coming to Estonia. We're going to go out and watch a movie. Where would you be taking me? What kind of movie would you be taking me to see? I want to find out a little bit more about your normal life. Are you a thriller, serial killer, stabber type of movie? Are you a romance movie, action? Tell me.
I'm not going to cinema too often, I must say.
No?
No, so if...
Netflix and chill.
Almost, yeah. If Janika says that we really need to go to cinema, then I say, okay, we go to cinema if you really want, but... Yeah, there are plenty of cinemas normally there on that time already. They are all good. If you need to pick a film, then normally I would normally pick something more kind of action or comedy style, I would say, yes.
Okay, romantic night with Jannica at home. You're cooking, right? Firstly, can you cook?
I'm definitely not cooking.
You can't cook at all?
A
Little bit?
Actually, Christmas time, like Christmas break, I started to cook a bit, so I made a few breakfasts for myself, just for myself, but yeah, I'm not so ready really to cook to anyone else, so yeah, I'm not taking that responsibility.
So you have a weekend at home with the family, with the children, with Jannica. What kind of things would you be getting up to as normal life now, away from all of this circus? What kind of things do you normally do as a family?
Yeah, you have kids. Imagine you have 2 small kids. They wake up, they are immediately in the rev limiter, running left to right, so difficult to follow. So I think if you arrive to the end of the day, then you really think that how the day went so quickly. So that's how it goes. You really don't understand even yourself how the time is flying at home.
Yeah, I can imagine. You are now a champion, as we mentioned. What does the future hold in terms of where you go from here? How many more years do you see yourself competing? You said you're getting better and better every year. How many more years do you want to stay as part of the sport?
In one way, yes, I'm very much into rallying, but from the other side, I also would like to see my kids growing a bit more, so that's something I miss a lot when I'm away. But from still another side, I am also a lot into technical side. I like a lot the development. I like a lot this work we do, like before the rallies and between the rallies. So soon there is again a new regulation coming, and I really would like to see what is coming. It seems like it will be something very, very different, and I think it could be something very interesting. So something never been in rallying before, and actually I'm really planning at the moment that I'd like to see this as well, and at least to maybe a season, minimum a season in this new regulation car. So let's see what happens after this, but yeah, at the moment I'm looking forward to that.
Do you see yourself, if you weren't a driver, let's say 5-10 years time you decide to stop, do you see yourself continuing in the sport in some way because you've had such a big part of it, and as you say you're interested in the technical development behind it? Could you ever just cut it off and stop completely, or do you think you would always have to have some hand in it somewhere?
I think yes, we can dream that we will not look into any rallying anymore, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen.
I don't think it will. I hope it won't anyway. Thank you very much for chatting.
Thank you.
For more great WRC content, head to WRC Plus. Thousands of hours of archive footage, from end-of-season reviews and onboards to features on some of the legends of WRC. That is WRCplus.com, the home of WRC action. Action.